Good, you're here. So, how do you feel about reading comprehension? I was hoping to start out by sweeping the area for documentation left behind from before the war.
Attention, citizens. Nuclear strike imminent. Please exit the area at your earliest convenience. Thank you for your cooperation.
Good, you're here. So, how do you feel about reading comprehension? I was hoping to start out by sweeping the area for documentation left behind from before the war. Are you trying to get on my good side? Because that's how you get on my good side. But enough about that. I'd like to get started. Let's head downstairs and see what we can turn up. Here's a document. This must be Dr. Hammond, Atlas's latest. We recovered some of his hijinks and logs in our initial sweep of the area. This tech down here is his hand, and he couldn't give up, even after the war. I should make sure. Should have spent more time. Here's one. I'm glad you agreed to come along. All I get as a scribe is this stinky pistol. Hardly a match for any mutant critters that sneak in. think this is good. Let's talk for a sec. That should be enough to start. Let me take a look. Atlas decommission report. So the project was in bad shape after all? I knew it sounded too good to be true. Fascinating. Wow, this is some seriously classified stuff that I just let you read, isn't it? I wasn't supposed to show you any of this. I guess you're right. There's only so much I can tell you, but I'll share what I feel is relevant. Atlas wasn't exactly an observatory before the war. That was just a front. The military conducted research here. Pretty advanced research. We're down here to investigate and see what's worth salvaging for the Brotherhood. We run a tight ship in the Brotherhood. Or, at least we're supposed to. All of the information we collect is distributed on a need-to-know basis. I was hoping we could get through this without you needing to know, but I guess that was too much to ask. Now, let's follow up on some leads from this report. I'd like to do a quick inspection of some key components that should be nearby. There's probably a terminal around here. If it's still running, we can do a diagnostics test. That will tell us about some of the less accessible hardware. The report mentioned that the machine's intake pump was under a lot of pressure. Let's find the release valve for that and give it a spin, see what happens. Finally, the lower core on this level should have a wiring box. Why don't we take a glance at that to get an idea of the electrical hookups? The diagnostics test can tell us the state of some key components that we won't be able to test manually. Keep an eye on the state of each component, and we'll want to look into them after the initial check. The release valve is an emergency mechanism that can relieve pressure on the intake pipes if they come under stress. If all is well, we'll just be able to turn it and nothing out of the ordinary will happen. Think of the wires like the blood vessels of the machine. Without the electricity running through them, nothing's going to work. We just need to do a little checkup and see what condition they're in. Should be a simple inspection. You can have point, but I'll be looking over your shoulder the whole way. Take note of the details and we'll discuss how it goes after. Looks like we've That does it for the inspection. Let's talk. All right, let's go over the inspection results. The diagnostics check revealed some issues. Flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured, and the ion focus? All right, let's go over the inspection results. The diagnostics check revealed some issues. Flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured, and the ion focus? Misaligned. Problematic to say the least. Next, we have the release valve. That went... Well, what was your assessment? It certainly did. I'm going to mark that down as bad. Last but not least, the wiring. The wires were... All right, let's go over the inspection. All right, let's go over the inspection result. The diagnostics check revealed flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured. Next, we have the release. It certainly did. Last but not least, the wire. Yep. I think the warm reception they gave us also points to that. Okay, well, sorry about the pop quiz. But in general, you're handling yourself well so far. A fair point. We have a saying among the scribes. Through discourse, we gain strength. This wasn't discourse. It was a test. I can't blame you for being upset. I wanted to see if you would pay attention. And I have my answer now. Sorry if I angered you. I'm worried about what our inspection turned up. There are a few parts I'd like to extract and examine in my lab. There's the pressure gauge, the core processor, and the ion focus. They should be upstairs. There's a lot I can learn from examining them, if we can pull them out and get them back to my lab in decent condition. I want to take some notes on the core up there, so I'm going to leave the parts removal to you. Each extraction will be a little different, but in general, you'll want to use a light touch. I want the components in good condition, so please be careful. Any questions, or are you ready to get started? A very important and technical component. It helps force particles into a beam that the machine could fire to affect the weather. Somehow. could take a bit of manual dexterity to pry loose without any damage. You saw what happened when we tested the release valve. I want to examine the stress on the gauge. That could tell us if all that built-up pressure was normal or an anomaly. Oh, and you may have to pry it off, but be careful about it when the time comes. The brain of the machine. It's the component that coordinates all of the others. It should be slotted into a terminal somewhere. May take a little technical know-how to extract, but nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. I'm counting on you. Let's see what you can do. thought of one. Can you pick up the induction coil up there on the machine core? What is this thing? That doesn't sound good.
Do not attempt to flee. Jump in.
My best.
Chance of success to be low. I don't want to be wounded. You could run. Trying to
Close one. Whatever you did up there, the security system sure didn't like it. Thanks for the backup. I doubt I could have handled that on my own. Now that that's over with, let me take a look at what you've collected. The pressure gauge looks like it's in good condition. The core processor is pristine. Good work on that. The ion focus looks usable. Impressive. The induction coil seems fine. That's a relief. And what is this? This is... Is this ultrasight? Fascinating. This looks like some kind of compact power source. None of the documents, none of the terminals said anything about this. Did this power the whole machine? The fuel of the future. I'd heard the stories, but to think I could hold so much energy in my hands like this? Project Atlas may be beyond our power to repair, but we might have something here. I expected the machine to use a small reactor's worth of energy, but they condensed that into a container I can hold in my hands. Oh, I could do a lot with this. You were a big help. I'm sure you have what it takes to be an initiate, and soon. Here, take this letter to Paladin Romani. She'll make the final call on letting you into the Brotherhood, but my wreck may tip the scales. I'm going back upstairs to take a look at these components. I need to catalog our findings. If nothing else, this ultrasight battery has piqued my interest. There's a lot I could learn from reverse engineering it. Oh, I'm giving you access to my private terminal, too. It has all the logs we recovered from when we moved in. After what we just went through, I think you deserve to know more about Project Atlas. Take a look if you get some free time. Thanks again for your help. And good luck with the Paladin.
fighting out there?
Throwing nukes left and right. The people of Appalachia think a bomb is gonna make them.
Old world science saw it. But what else are wrong? I'm glad we guard our tech closely.
Do you want to play the Armor Ace board game with me?
We should spend less time mourning for Defiance and more time here.
Oh, well, my name is Maximo. You can call me Max, though, for short. My big sister Marcia and I live here now with the Brotherhood. Isn't that cool?
Do you need something?
Oh, yeah! It's a lot of fun living in the Brotherhood of Steel base. I kinda wish there were more kids my age to play with, but it's okay. The less distractions from my training, the better. I'm gonna become the best Brotherhood of Steel member that Paladin Romani has ever seen. Well, the town we lived in got attacked by raiders and our mother was killed. But luckily, the Brotherhood of Steel was there and they saved us. Since we didn't really have anyone anymore, Paladin Romani had us come along with them. I can't wait to become a member and fight off bad guys like they do. I'll make sure no one ever has to die again. They're heroes! The Brotherhood is gonna save humanity and help make the world a better place. They saved my sister and me and a bunch of other people along the way. Plus, the power armor they get to wear is so cool!
Things would be different now if
Whatever you want. It's fun talking with you. Sure, I'd be happy to talk about them. I mean, they're my heroes. She's the leader of the Brotherhood, and I'm gonna try my best to impress her so that she makes me an initiate one day. It was Paladin Romani's idea to let us stay here with them, and I'm so happy that she did. Oh, absolutely. She cares a lot about saving people and stopping bad guys. She's a real-life hero. No way! I can't get the proper training I need to become a Brotherhood of Steel Knight there. I need the best combat training there is, and that's here. Speaking of, I wonder if Knight Shin is busy right now. Okay. Knight Shin is super cool. Have you seen his power armor? He doesn't really talk to me much, but I think it's just because he's super busy doing Brotherhood stuff and fighting bad guys. Plus, he's usually hanging out by the weapons, and I'm not allowed to go near there. I think we're gonna be best friends one day, though.
I am a link in the chain that binds. That is what keeps this order together.
Are you even supposed to be here?
What? No! He's just busy. Saving the world is hard work. Someone in the Brotherhood can't be a jerk. They're literally the good guys. You think? I want to know all about the Brotherhood of Steel. Okay. Odessa is the best. She's super smart and is always saying stuff that I don't really understand, but I'm gonna study really hard. And sometimes when the others aren't around, we play hide and seek around the fort. She told me I could because we're friends. Just like how you can call me Max instead of Maximo. Although, when I'm a knight, I would prefer if you called me Knight Max.
To call a seminar on this?
Nah, I want to be a knight like Shin so I can wear power armor and use cool weapons. If I was to be a scribe, though, I would want to be just like Odessa. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Raiders causing trouble again.
Stay safe out there.
Not as young as you used to be, Layla.
Don't bother. I don't have anything to say to you or anyone else. Thanks. I appreciate that. I'll keep that in mind if I ever feel up to it. Tell Ramani that I'm tired of being in this place.
Do you want to join the brother?
Go away. What do you want? Thanks. I appreciate that. I'll keep that in mind if I ever feel up to it. I'm sure you wouldn't be too thrilled to talk to anyone. If both your parents were dead and you were stuck with the people who caused it. I really don't want to talk about it. Just watch out. The Brotherhood can be reckless, and they justify it with some bullshit savior complex. Congratulations on not being naive like Max over here. Maybe there's hope for you yet. If you want to talk about how great the Brotherhood of Steel is, talk to Max instead. You two can lick Shin's boots together. I would if I could, but Max refuses, and I can't just leave him behind. We're all that we've got left. Hopefully he'll come to his senses and stop his blind hero worship. Let's not. You know what? I just might. Good. Why are you snooping around here?
Throwing nukes left and right. The people have legendary bombs and later.
Need to have Valdez take another look around. 2,000 miles of hiking is what's really rare.
No meat approved. A perfectly preserved pie with a real dinner.
So much to
This
teach us.
ration request doesn't even have a name on it.
Request for the Brotherhood should be passed through night. Ah, you must be the one I've been hearing about. Paladin Layla Ramani. What do you need? I've received a report from Knight Shin detailing your assistance in his duties.
I am a link.
He has given his approval to your consideration as an initiate. Word around the fort is that you've been working with Scribe Valdez as well. As a paladin, I am the commander of the 1st Expeditionary Force to Appalachia, and by extension, the ranking officer here at Fort Atlas. I'm sorry, but civilians should stay out of command areas.
If I don't sleep tonight, I I should be able to get this list done.
Night Shin runs the armory downstairs, if that's what you're looking for. Ah.
Someone returned their gun to the wrong place again. Do I need to call
Well,
a seminar on this?
Between this and the report I have from Night Shin, we can discuss you becoming a member of our order. Consider it carefully. Do you wish to join our ranks?
Things would be different now if Taggarty's unit had survived.
Both have given their approval to your initiate consideration. Yes. Night Shin felt that you displayed sensible judgment, took orders tolerably well, and were ideally suited to help with civilian outreach. Frankly, I suspect he just wants out of those duties, but you made a decent impression regardless. In short, she thinks you are capable, helpful, and possessed of a higher-than-average technical aptitude. Useful qualities in an initiate candidate. Yes? Membership in the Brotherhood is a commitment to honor, duty, and service. You would begin as an initiate in our ranks. With time and training, you may one day join the Scrolls as a knight or scribe, depending on your aptitudes and choices. On a day-to-day basis, Knight Shin would be your direct superior here, though any of the officers may requisition you for missions if needed.
Each day in service of the Brotherhood is a step forward.
With the recommendations of Knight Shin and Scribe Valdez, I'm willing to consider you for membership. But first, I need to see how you handle yourself without direct supervision. In order to be effective in our operations here, we need to establish positive relations with the people of Appalachia. If we make them see us as a beneficial presence in the area, it will be much easier to secure cooperation in the future. We have reports of feral ghoul attacks on traders and travelers in the southwest forest region, indicative of a nest of some kind. I want you to clear it out.
Things would be different now if Taggarty's unit had survived.
Your reward is that I consider you worth. Limited intel suggests this is a milk run, perfect for a new recruit. But you're not wrong. We don't know the level of threat. Take this as an additional precaution.
Someone returned their gun to the wrong place again. Do I need to call a seminar on this?
Complete this mission satisfactorily, and I will grant you initiate status within the Brotherhood. Yes. We don't know. Our initial reports on the attacks came from a family of farmers, the Putnams, that we passed on the way into the region. I think their sons were rather starstruck when we showed up. I almost expected the older boy to follow us when we left. You should start your search there. They may know more. You can find them at the old Lewis and Sons farming supply. Very well. Do this, and you will be one of us, with all the rights and responsibilities of a full member of the Brotherhood of Steel. Ad Victoriam.
Get this list done.
Information should go through Scribe Valdez at the workshop.